I'm Steve Lascalzo, and this is The Way. You're listening to the November 2025 This is The Way podcast Star Wars News Update episode. Did you know Baylan Skoll was originally in Andor? Alright, well, sort of. Rory McCann was apparently originally cast as Brasso in the series, but had to drop out after filming a few scenes and then needing emergency surgery because of a leg injury. When McCann couldn't continue in the role, Joplin Sibtain was brought in, and then they digitally added his face over the scenes that McCann had already shot. Now, of course, McCann is back in Star Wars, replacing Ray Stevenson, who passed away after Season 1 of Ahsoka was complete. He takes over the role of Skoll since there's more story to tell there.
Bring me one of those chickens.
It is time for me to report Star Wars news released since our last news update podcast. 2 more names were added to the known cast list of The Mandalorian and Grogu early in November. London Stubblefield is listed as Village Merchant on IMDb, and he's a newcomer to the Star Wars live-action universe. While his is likely a very small role, Hemke Madera was part of the Imperial Shadow Council in Season 3 of The Mandalorian, the one that had Brendol Hux and Galad Pellaeon. You know, they were discussing Thrawn's eventual return with Moff Gideon, who, of course, met his end in the depths of Mandalore. It was after bringing the remnant coverts back to their home planet that we last saw Din Djarin. He had seemingly settled down on the outskirts of Navarro with Grogu, but in an article in Empire magazine, Jon Favreau talks about the change our Mandalorian went through, from ruthless and unfeeling bounty hunter in Season 1 to good guy by the end of Season 3. He also revealed that Garazeb Orelios is going to have a big role in the film, but that the special relationship between Din Djarin and Grogu will still be the main focus of the movie. It seems as if the movie will replace Season 4, which in the article, Favreau says, the Season 4 scripts are still sitting on his desk, but there still might be stories left to tell with the characters. There will be references to the characters of the Ahsoka series, since Zeb is featured heavily enough that it makes sense there would be mentions of the Ghost Crew. There's supposedly a trailer with additional scenes that will be shown before Zootopia 2 for The Mandalorian and Grogu in theaters. Perhaps adding in some of the scenes missing between the trailer shown at Celebration as an exclusive, and then the one that made rounds on social media at the end of October, the official teaser trailer. Last month we also mentioned how Jeremy Allen White was confirmed as Rada the Hutt in the movie, and days ago, Variety shared an article with him where he talked about getting the part through meeting Favreau at a party. It seems as if White's excitement is more about doing something his daughters can watch and his first time doing voice work over, the excitement specifically about Star Wars. That's okay. Not everyone has to love Star Wars that gets a part, right? After The Mandalorian and Grogu, the next live-action Star Wars will be Ahsoka's second season. It won't come until late in 2026, but Ahsoka actress Rosario Dawson made an appearance at Comic-Con Scotland this month after the wrap of principal production. She talked about the lighter side we're going to see of her character. She specifically mentioned, quote, "I'm really glad that we get to add more joy into her life and see her relax a little bit more and work in community a little bit more than she has." End quote. It seems as if Ahsoka will be continuing her training of Sabine Wren, which a Star Wars Rebels writer says was a discarded plot point from the show. Henry Gilroy, no relation at all to Tony Gilroy, the showrunner of Andor, Henry told Pod of the Rebellion podcast that Wren's live-action arc deviated from what the team had established in Rebels. This is coming from StarWarsNews.net. Now, Gilroy admitted that her training was considered when it came to the Darksaber plot in the Rebels show, but that because it was a weak retread of Ezra's story and would have also undermined her trajectory with the Mandalorian mission, they discarded it. It's the weakest part of the show in many reviewers' opinions, not just mine, but it's there. It's pleasing to me to hear people talking honestly, although I would guess Henry's not going to be asked back then, because, or maybe he already wasn't, and this is why he decided to talk about it now. A side note, one of the great mothers played by Claudia Black in season 1 is not going to be back, or at least her character or her portrayal won't be. Black is of Farscape and Stargate fame, and apparently, according to her, she cost too much money. Whether her character will also not be back, like Clawflaw, I think was the name of her great mother, maybe it'll be recast. Whether or not she's back remains to be seen. Then, after Ahsoka's second season, the next live-action Star Wars in the Lucasfilm pipeline is Starfighter, which is set for a May 2027 release, and it's currently filming. Matt Smith of Doctor Who and the first couple seasons of The Crown is about to make his way to a set. He let slip when his involvement begins when he spoke about his costume fitting in a discussion at a London boutique that was posted to YouTube. It does look like it was an official interview, but I don't know if it was promotion for this boutique. Now, filming started almost 3 months ago for the movie, and it's 3/4 done, according to director Shawn Levy. He made comments that it was halfway done in early November, so the filming schedule for the movie is either going at light speed or there are going to be a lot of computer graphics done, which being called Starfighter makes a little sense. You can't do practical effects for space dogfighting if that's part of the plot. But it is a quicker production schedule than some of the shows and movies that have been done in the past. Now, in a discussion with Collider, Levy also mentioned that cinematographer Claudio Miranda has been breaking new ground in filming the movie. He mentioned how Maverick and F1, the work that Miranda did on those movies, had some of the sensibilities that he was looking for in Starfighter. And Levy says, quote, his sense of how to put people in the action in a visceral way, not just in an observational way, but a subjective and participatory way. In that cockpit, in that driver's seat, he does it like no one else does it, and I wanted that superpower for Starfighter, end quote. Levy also just seems to be having a great time filming. He's bringing his 10-year-old to set every day. He told Vanity Fair that he volunteered very early to tell stories when he heard Lucasfilm was getting acquired by Disney, but a long time passed without him getting a call. He also mentioned that when he did get the call and asked, what movie do you want me to do? The answer given back to him was, quote, whatever one you want. Make it feel like your movies feel, end quote. So is this going to be like Cheaper by the Dozen and Pink Panther and Night at the Museum? Or will it be like Free Guy, The Atom Project, and Deadpool and Wolverine? It will sound like a Thomas Newman scored movie, though. Newman has been nominated 15 times for an Oscar and composed for so many movies, Pixar, Bond movies, Stephen King, Alfred Hitchcock, Steven Spielberg, and then the movies like Revenge of the Nerds, Desperately Seeking Susan, Girls Just Want to Have Fun, and Real Genius. Now, when Starfighter is released, he'll have been listed 130 times or more as a composer. So it's pretty interesting that this is the guy that they tapped. Obviously, John Williams is kind of mostly retired. I'm sure that if George Lucas asked him to come back or something like that, he would. Or if there was a new Harry Potter thing, he might be asked to consult. But he's done, right? So who do you get? It's somebody who may have been inspired by him. One final note on Starfighter here. Apparently, the third act of the movie has been reworked during production. Levy made comments in a discussion with Kevin McCarthy in On Film. He said, quote, there was something unexpected on Starfighter. We had a whole different idea for something in the third act, and then things didn't align, and I was forced to come up with a new idea. And I'm literally right now shooting that section of the movie. And every day, I'm grateful that the way I was supposed to do it didn't work out, because the new idea that it forced me to explore is so much better than the original idea would have been, end quote. Normally, that would make me extremely nervous. However, Levy said something else. He also said, quote, everyone's like, which Star Wars movie is Starfighter most inspired by? If I'm being honest, I know the cool answer would be Empire, sure. And sort of the inarguable answer would be New Hope. But it's kind of Return of the Jedi. It's Jedi. Because the combination of theme, levity, adventure, heart, spectacle, somehow that movie just got it right for me. End quote. You and me both, Levy. That makes me feel a lot better about Starfighter.
It's a trap!
Star Wars gamers. Star Wars The Old Republic is getting a long-awaited update, 7.8. It's coming in December. It's called Galactic Threads and will continue the storyline after Shae Vizsla broke Darth Malgus out of prison, and some other storylines and other characters. It will likely coincide with the 14th anniversary of the game, and the year leading up to number 15 has even more in store. It's good to see that they're not abandoning SWTOR. Also out in December will be the Destiny 2 game Star Wars inspired expansion. It's not going to have Star Wars in it. It's just that the armor skins that very much look like they're Trooper inspired are going to be put into the game very early in December.
Kenner continues the excitement. It's AT-AT, the all-terrain armored transport from Kenner. Batteries not included.
Collectors. You know, Thanksgiving just ended, and December brings Christmas, right? And there's Black Friday, but listen, a couple of months ago, I saw something posted in the Hasbro Pulse website, and I said, I'm not doing it. It's too early, but I have to just mention this. There's a Valentine's Day Ewok coming from the Black Series for $28, and it will ship in time to be under your tree, December 8th. But why? It's going to be ready to ship December 8th, according to the Hasbro Pulse website. It's a pink Ewok with white wings and a white bow and arrow, not even a bowcaster, just a bow and arrow, and a red hood. It looks absolutely ridiculous, and it's got a BD droid accessory, and it also apparently comes with a heart-shaped card that says Yub Yub. Now, you thought Christmas Creep was bad. They're already putting out Valentine's Day characters. Also in the Black Series, there was a Crosshair listed, Captain Rex, RC-1262 Scorch, and then General Grievous, and sold out is a really cool-looking Vader and Luke Skywalker set from Bespin. All the available Black Series ones I mentioned are $28, except for Grievous, who is $43. No Black Friday pricing there, or Cyber Week, or anything like that. Hasbro is like, you want these things? You pay full price all year round. Now, the Grievous is a Battlefront 2 game version of the character, so it's got no cloak, for lightsaber accessories, but at $43, it's just too much more than some of the other characters, I think. There are also 2 vintage collection finds on the Hasbro Pulse website as well. A Jabba the Hutt set, still available, that comes with Salacious B. Crumb and 8D8, along with some of his throne room set, the dais, hookah, pillows, animal skins, goblets, plates. It ships on April Fool's Day for $100. So is this a long joke that they're playing? I don't know. The other vintage set is called Court Denizens and has Rees, Tessic, Velkin Tazeri, and Tame Drengarin. And so basically it's a Quarren, a Gran, and a couple of human skiff guards from Return of the Jedi. The 4-character set also ships April 1st of next year, but for the low price of $80, which is only $20 a character, but also they're only vintage quality characters, not Black Series. There are 2 more items. A Phase 2 Clone Trooper helmet from the Black Series for $110, and then a Clone Captain Rex helmet for $140. Both have voice distortion, and the Rex helmet has some battle scarring and clanker tally marks on the side. So this would be the version from the Ahsoka live-action Season 1 appearance.
Just one more thing.
We've reached the segment that we usually talk about Disney Parks news, and in lieu of that, I wanted to let you know about a holiday-themed gingerbread house that's popped up on my social media a time or two since September. It's a LEGO set, and I need to let you know about this because it's sold out on the LEGO website shop. So if you see this in stores, you might want to consider picking up a box or maybe two of them and then selling one on eBay in a couple of years, because it's a LEGO Star Wars gingerbread AT-AT. You can inspire kids' imaginations, according to the box, during the holiday season with the festive LEGO Star Wars gingerbread AT-AT walker, item number 40806. So it's aimed at boys and girls, aged 10 and up, but it's available to all fans. And this is a set that features an AT-AT with a gingerbread house style decoration. You have to look online if you have. It's amazing. It's got a gingerbread Darth Vader Lego minifigure, and that is you can pose the legs of the AT-AT, so it's movable. It's not just a set that just sits there. It doesn't have a motor or anything, but you can pose it. You can open the cockpit up, flip up the sides of the main compartment, and reveal a cozy interior. There is a seat by the fireplace for Darth Vader, and again, he's a gingerbread minifigure. There's a table, drinking cup, cookie and candy cane elements. There are stockings hanging on the wall, piles of gifts, other festive accessories for creative play, and you can make it fun with the Lego Builder app. So your kids can zoom in and rotate a digital 3D version of the AT-AT as they build it. And the set contains 697 pieces. And again, it comes with a special Lego Star Wars minifigure of gingerbread Darth Vader. The minifigure alone might be worth more than the whole box eventually. It's got a candy cane element and a lightsaber. It looks amazing. The dimensions are 7.5 inches high, 9 inches long, and then 4 inches wide. And again, it's sold out. It probably will retail around $60, but I don't know for sure what the price you'll see in the store. All I'm saying is this seems like it'll be a collector's item for sure. And again, it's already sold out on their website shop. And I just think you need to be aware. If sometimes you're shopping in the store and you see that, it might be worth snapping up.
I think we can let him off with the warning this time.
If you think I've missed something or disagree with me, send email to thisisthewaypodcast@gmail.com. I'll check right now and see if anybody's written in.
This is the message I was sent.
I actually do have an email. It's from Daniel of Star Wars Now This Is Podcasting, and he's referencing a trip that he just made to visit Aaron from Star Wars Reactions, that podcast, and how we didn't get to meet up when he came to Florida recently. So people do email. It is a way to get in contact with me. But how can you interact? This is the way podcast @gmail.com, or you can go to our X or Facebook or Instagram social media feeds, make a comment there or post. Usually we're at This Is the Way Pod. There's a Discord server that I made. No one really has asked to join it or has expressed any interest. If you do want to join that, send me an email or visit X, Facebook, or Instagram. Do something about that. You have to have a Discord account already, of course, to join it. But if you do and you want to be part of it, certainly welcome to do that. And we're going to continue with our Bible verses. We do have another Bible verse again this month. And longtime listener of the podcast, Daniel from Star Wars Now This Is Podcasting, has suggested we call this segment This Is the Word. And I think that's just fantastic. So I did try using some AI to create some audio branding for that, but it's not a priority right now, and it didn't do it fast enough. I thought AI is going to crank this out in 5 seconds, but it didn't. And I don't want to, if it didn't do it that quickly and I was going to spend time on it, then I wanted to make sure that I did it the right way and did something that will last for a long time. So we don't have any audio branding yet, but this is the word.
This is the way.
Star Wars celebrated the release of the holiday special on November 17th, and I promise, for the time it was released, it wasn't as bad as people make it sound. I mean, it's bad, but Star Wars was huge in 77, and I don't think we can blame Lucasfilm for trying to capitalize. And if you go back and you look at TV shows and holiday specials at that time, it wasn't like they were amazingly produced. These things were kind of rushed in a way. Now, it doesn't hold up. Okay, but there were so many holiday specials produced back then that we don't talk about now because they weren't the phenomenon that Star Wars is. So it was about Life Day. And it's a weird take on a fake holiday that looks a lot like Thanksgiving and Christmas. But it did live on in an updated form with the LEGO animated holiday special just a couple years back. But the original 1978 special was more Christmas than Thanksgiving, even though it came in November 17th. And none of it borrowed from the Bible at all. I mean, even back then, they were trying to not mention Christ on TV as much as they did, unless it was a preacher trying to get your money. So Life Day definitely feels more Christmassy, and especially when you consider that this month's verse, I think, that I picked out really does fit. In John 14:6, Jesus says, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." Now, in the special, Wookiees had to go home to Kashyyyk to reach a life tree as part of a celebration. Many Christians do put up trees. Many non-Christians put up trees. But to come to the Father, we don't trust in the tree. We also don't have to hop on Vader's shuttle and go visit the Father in the Death Star. Our trust is that Jesus was born of a virgin, Mary, okay? Not Annie's mother, right? He lived a perfect life, right? He didn't have any Jedi training. He just lived a perfect life. And then he sacrificed himself, not to save the Father, but to save us. And that is the truth. Jesus is the life. Jesus is the truth. And Jesus is the way.
He speaks the truth.
Thank you so much for joining me for This Is the Way podcast's November 2025 news update episode. And thanks again for being part of This Is the Way podcast's audience. I'm your host, Steve Lascalzo, and may the Force be with you always.